They do more damage from their own bombs half the time. Oh my goodness, except when they try to sit on the ground like an idiot. Oh my goodness. That's some value right there, baby. You love to see it. You love to see it. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Coastlines Dry. I have a fantastic 8v8 here for you today in Beyond No Reason. It is definitely a mixed bag in terms of player skill level, which I think actually can make really interesting games. And it's a game type that we haven't seen a lot of recently, mostly just because I haven't been making as many videos. But yeah, let's jump right into it. Starting with our players, so we're going to be starting on the warm-colored side here. We have the classic OG Rebel Node, the McArthur clone. No, of course. The guy from Finland, 43 TS here. Very interesting little symbol there. I'm assuming that's from like a tournament win or something. They're going to be playing Cortex in the red color, starting off with that bot lab in the bottom of the map. And assisting them as their, I guess, the second best player on the warm colored team is going to be a Polygon here in the yellow, playing Armada. Let's go. Armada representation besides air players is always wonderful to see. They're going to be starting with the bot lab as well. Of course, it makes sense. And on the other side of the map, we do have G-Oaf, or I don't even know how you'd be. I'm just going to say Oaf in the Hello Clan in the dark blue color, 39 TS here, playing Cortex, again, starting with the bot lab all the way on the top side. So Rebel Node and Oaf kind of not mirroring each other. They're actually on opposite sides of the map. So that'll be interesting. A kind of yin and yang dynamic, depending on who's pushing when and the players that they're opposing, if that makes sense. And then supporting them, we have Heyaji in the light green, also playing Armada. Fantastic to see. 37 TS from the Philippines. Going to be starting in the south there. So they should be a match for Rebel Node. Obviously, I think Rebel Node will probably be just a little bit better. Like they probably played so many games. Even if you are just a few TS below them, I just don't think they have that amount of games under their belt. But we'll see. I'm excited to see where this game goes. Yeah, Coastlines Dry is pretty interesting. A ton of mexes, great 8v8 map. Very, it's hard to, I mean, there's a lot of choke points, right? So you'd think it'd be kind of easy to hold, but just because there's so much like walkable terrain, it's actually not as easy as you'd expect. But a lot of fun things here for you today. Of course, a classic comeback. Even the team that wins ends up having like a couple bases destroyed just through negligence and poor play. But they end up coming back, which is, I think, one of the most interesting things about Beyond No Reason, seeing how those comebacks work. And in theory, right, I've been thinking about this for a long time, is this game really shouldn't allow for comebacks. Like, it is an awful game in terms of comebacks, because as soon as you start losing units and you let your opponent start to reclaim them, then it's just like a double whammy, because you're down in army value and you're giving your opponent more map control and more economy through your dead units. So it just feels real bad when you start to lose. But yeah, even in these losing type scenarios, we still see comebacks somehow in Beyond No Reason. I don't know why that is, how it happens. Game theorists better than me, I'm sure, have figured it out, but we're just seeing a few grunts. Yeah, playing in the center here. A little bit of a massacre there from Jaden. Oh, Canadian player. You actually really don't see a lot of people from Canada. Now that I think about it. I mean, we're overrepresenting from Finland. 2 people from Finland in one lobby. Wild. None of them are McArthur. I think that's like the first player I ever casted. The only reason I remember them. I mean, they're a good player as well, right? I don't know if they even play anymore. Yeah, the game is definitely, popularity is dipping at this point in its lifespan, but I think it's still a fun game. Maybe if changes came a little bit faster. We did get a balance patch recently. It just says the month, but it was flashing when I loaded up the replay, so I looked into it. Looks like it's just reverting some changes for the Rocket guys, so they're not as dominant anymore. They have a little bit faster shot time and reload speed, but they do less damage. They cost a little bit more. Same for Thugs. I think we're a little bit dominant, and res bots are more expensive and take longer to make as well. So it's all things to keep in mind. The changes are pretty minimal. I don't know if they really come into play in this game. I haven't really seen. Actually, there's a pretty good Thug push that we'll see a little bit later on, but yeah, more interested in. We lose a ton of commanders early on in this game. Like, I think like by minute 10, like half the commanders are gone. I did just speed through the replay before this, so it's fresh in my mind. You know, I'm able to see what happens. Jolly here, yeah, sitting around, man. That's funny. They did build what they wanted to. Is that radar station there, right? Yeah, a little bit of stuff going on in the middle here. Oh, and I guess I should talk about the positions. So we do have, looks like our air player is going to be Daniel Cola. And then our tech player, eco player, is Scarecrow. That's for the cool colored side. Warm colored side, it's TKD back kick on air, and then just some guy for tech, eco support, stuff like that. Just so you're aware. It was actually pretty interesting. It wouldn't be shown on this video, but it does let you know, at least for this map, where just self-destruction there. You get some free metal from that, but you lose some build power. That's a trade-off. It does let you know where the preferred spots are. I don't know if it forces players into those, but it'll say like, this is the air spot, this is front line. Of course, this map is mostly front line, and really even if you're eco or air, you probably should be contributing at least a little bit to your lane, right? And the lanes are pretty simple, right? It's literally just west or east from where your base is, right? Nothing complicated there. We do see 2 commanders go down here in the north. Cocoa Puffs 411 and Oaf's commander going down right there. And it looks like we are seeing the Grave Robber from Oaf starting to reclaim their commander. And then no reclaim bot from Coco, but they do have the construction bot, which should function similarly. Don't let that Grave Robber die to a rocket bot. That would be pretty sad there. So yeah, it looks like about equal reclaim in terms of economy, and this time in the game it is pretty even here. Weebarrow's commander getting dangerously low. Some pawns taking it down to 9%. Oh goodness, the Januses are commander killers, anything killers. They have AoE high damage. Januses are quite good. The only thing that's bad is their reload speed, of course. They're slow, and they don't have a lot of health. So I think they're pretty balanced. I know a lot of people dislike them, but I think that's more their burst nature feels bad. When you lose units to something you didn't see coming, is always going to feel worse than, like, you know, a pawn swarm or something. Where, like, yeah, I can see that coming from a mile away. I just didn't have the stuff to react to it. All right. Yeah, actually, it looks like most of the reclaim does go to Oaf here, as they do push out with those thugs. So L for the warm colored team, but in the end, it's really not too important. When they nerfed the amount of metal that the commanders had, I kind of agree with it, but it did make the early game a little bit less interesting in terms of, you know, commanders dying, who's getting the reclaim. Like 2,500 metal for 2 commanders, it's definitely helpful, but it's not a lot, right? So we'll probably see early T2. Actually, they would just gift it if they wanted early T2. No, that's probably what happened. I didn't see any though. They are asking for air though. Yeah, both players ended up making transports. I didn't really cover that. Transport meta is strong. You basically make a transport, you pull the commander to the front, and then you got a lot of extra firepower early on. They can start setting up laser towers and, you know, dragon's teeth, stuff like that. It's pretty helpful. It's basically what everybody's doing at this point. Tortoise in a bad position here. Okay, the camera was funny. Jaden with some pawns here, thugs, rocket bots, and yeah, Tortoise really doesn't have anything there to respond to it, except of course the D-gun, which you know, will be more than enough if they feel like using it, although they're just sitting here taking shots. Yeah. Oh, there we go, nice D-gun. Oh gosh, Jaden even D-guns. Oh, they're D-gunning their own units. Yeah, I don't know what the point of that was. You can't D-gun commanders. They will kill this commander though if Tortoise just sits around, and they won't, as long as they don't go below 70, I believe they won't lose their own commander. Oh, they are getting danger close. Nope, they make it out. Okay, so I lied. It probably just depends. I mean, obviously it depends where your commander is when the other one blows up, if that makes sense. Closer you are to the explosion, the more damage it does. Always like that. Always hated games that, you know, the explosion just does a set amount of damage in the whole area. It's always really goofy. So I'm glad this game doesn't do that. A little bit of thugs battling it out. Yeah, thugs are just super, super strong, right? They have a good range. They're really pretty tanky. And they just make a great T1 front line. They're kind of that T1.5 spot, if you will, right? Like, they're not going to go toe-to-toe with the T2 unit, but they definitely outclass stuff like grunts and pawns. I think they're great. Nice D-gun there from TFC, catching a couple thugs. They do have this really, really forward vehicle plant that they really just don't want to lose. That would be awful to lose that early on. I mean, that is a lot of metal. 740, I mean, you know, it's more about the build time you're losing. You also have construction turrets up here, so you're trying to build the infrastructure. You just don't want to lose it. Rebel node probably just going to D-gun it. Oh, TFC. Oh, their commander is going to self-destruct, which does kill Rebel node. It also kills the whole base they set up here. I don't know exactly what I would have done there, but it was an option that they took. The commander was probably going down either way. Also, these pings here when the commanders die are new, right? It's also nice. You can see it much better from zoomed out. Honestly, the only quality of life I would like in the replay is just to see fighter numbers more easily. Because if I select all fighters, so like Control Z, it selects fighters on both teams, right? Which isn't helpful. So I would like to get that information more readily. Right now, you just kind of have to guesstimate. That looks like a lot of flying triangles to me. Shuriken's here putting in work from Daniel Cola. Or just Dan. We'll probably just say Dan. Shurikens, of course, really matter early game. Now, if you do have some light anti-air, they just go down real quick. Honestly, even some pawns can take them down if you get lucky, because they do fly so low to the ground. But yeah, it's about having those. You know, thugs, for all their strengths, are not good at shooting down shurikens. Polygon, and yep, another commander self-destruct. There we go. Both of them going down there. And looks like we do have C3BO, funny, able to capitalize on that. If they have a reclaim bot, which it doesn't look like they do, they are getting attacked from behind by Jaden, who's really done well controlling like this central mountain pass here. A little guerrilla fighting, except they actually have the bigger force, huh? So I guess, yeah, it doesn't necessarily preclude you from guerrilla fighting, does it? Not looking too great up here in the north, though. Even though Oaf is supposed to be the dominant player, they are just kind of getting kicked in the teeth by Coco. Although with the Fiends coming out, T2 Assault Bot, really fantastic at clearing out T1 units. Yeah, they're going to start being more dominant. I mean, you can see even just a few Fiends are really piecing these guys up pretty bad, but they do have pretty low health, right? Thankfully, when they do die, they do a good amount of damage just with that destruction there. Janus is just trying to walk by. Seems pretty interesting to me. Oh gosh, 4 rockets on a T1 max instead of the Fiend is rough to see, but they're doing some eco damage, which is good. They're killing the Fiends, which, you know, Fiends aren't exactly cheap for how quick they go down, right? 200 metal is nothing to sneeze at, and more importantly, it's taking, oh gosh, another double commander death here. Jolly and Fajargo. It's taking build power away from the T2. Which could be making like T2 constructors and sending it out to other people here, or really just doing anything else besides making Fiends. So that's important to keep in mind as well. It's not always just about the metal, right? It's about build time and etc. I'm sure you understand. Yeah, Jane is really doing well. I don't think I've ever seen them play, but they're having a good army here just in the center. Honestly, I think part of that is they're not really being opposed too much by other players. We are see some Fiends from Scarecrow come out. Obviously, I think the Fiends, yeah, from Oaf were just given to them by Scarecrow, which it's rough to lose those. They are going to be starting to get their own T2 plant coming up here, which, yeah, 12 minutes in. Really should start seeing more T2 plants than we are, especially since this map is pretty high metal. Yeah, seeing an advanced vehicle plant from, oh my goodness, that name, which, yeah, interesting. Again, like the skill disparity there are 10 TS, which is rough to see on your team, but of course it is pretty balanced out. And I will put the team TS little thing. Well, I actually probably already have. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but normally the balancer gets it within like 1 TS range. Averaged out, which is pretty nice. Now, of course, obviously it doesn't always work out in reality, right? But the games I tend to cast are quite balanced. Shurikens, again, really putting in work. Yeah, Shurikens feel really good right now. Honestly, they've felt good the entire time I've been playing Beyond a Reason, so like 4 years. They've just been extremely dominant. I think part of that is just Beyond a Reason players have like a stigma against making anti-air bots. It's like air power doesn't exist until it affects you, which is always really funny to watch. Now we are seeing the fighters come out from Daniel Cola, and part of that is because they think they have the air player that's going to be able to win the skies, but obviously there's always the other air player you have to worry about, right? So if they even lose a one bad trade there, it might just be over for you. That's why you want the static anti-air units that can go around with your army. Just more anti-air. All right. Again, a push north here. It seems to be, again, like kind of what I was thinking, like a yin and yang. So like we have the best players up here pushing forward, and then we have the best players in the south pushing forward for the warm color team. And then you could just kind of get like the spiral formation, which is pretty interesting to watch. And of course, just the underdog player here, Jaden, just absolutely rolling through anything in the middle that they find. Part of that is we haven't really seen Tortoise come out here with any large amount of units. They do have a T2 constructor, but they don't even have a factory. which is really interesting to me. Did the factory go down? It does look like mexes were taken out here, so I think we might have missed a push. Why are you so stupid? And never build a single anti-air bomb with USA. Okay, I don't know who that's talking about. I think probably the dark green player. Regardless, yeah, I mean, the only reason is people get really wrapped up in these games, which probably just because the games take so long, right? It's like League. When you start losing, you don't want to like, that's a whole hour of your life that you just like, not wasted, because it's always fun even if you lose, but yeah, some people just don't see it that way. Okay. Shuriken, or maybe we just missed something. They also updated like the used to this would just be a circle, right? I noticed with a Navy game I was gonna cast had the same thing. I actually really wanted to cast this 1v1, but somebody is gonna have to convince me that 1v1s are interesting beyond a reason, because at the moment I don't think they're interesting at all. It's like all the bad things about Beyond a Reason is trying to self-destruct, but it's not gonna be able to. A little sprinter out there. It just feels like there's no comeback mechanic. So once you start losing, it really just feels like it's over. Whereas like for team games, the reason that you're able to come back from a loss is say, yeah, okay, so you're losing in the south here, but because you're able to win in the north, that matters. If you're able to take out a base, that matters, right? It's about where you pull your team units. Whereas like 1v1, it's typical, it's just like big army blobs. If you lose your army blob, it feels like it's over already. And I've seen very few 1v1 games that show differently, right? And also they just don't get to the high tech levels, which I find kind of, you're missing like half the game. Like most 1v1s end in T1 or like early T2, which is no fun. Anyways, enough about 1v1. Who gives a crap? Little push up there, a little push down here. Mostly just, yeah, thugs from Rebel Node. Are they T2 yet? Okay, yeah, they do have the advanced vehicle plant. Oh, making a ton of Jags. Jags should be quite good against these Hounds, right? Because they're fast. And so they might just be able to get past the Hounds defense, right? And start just ripping them up. Now, we are seeing quite a good attack here from Fajargo and Oof. If they can get close to the base here, that would be real rough. Now, there's no reactors for a big chain detonation, but yeah, losing a bot lab would be big. Although they are being pushed back by Sheldons right now, which, yeah, I mean, the maces are good too. They're just like the Armada thugs. But they just don't quite have the range. Definitely don't have the damage. Fighters here from Danila. Where are they going? Yeah, this is really interesting. Okay. Oh, the Bomber's here. Of course. Bomber's here, hitting the wind farms of the orange player. Pretty good. Not able to get like high value targets, and they did lose the fighter war. And of course, the ground anti-air is also going to be just hitting them hard. But yeah, able to do some good damage. Wish they got that fusion reactor. Not quite able to do it. So decent. The problem is they lost all fighters and all the bombers. But mostly the fighters are important. Now you leave yourself open for TKD back kick to do something interesting, but they don't have bombers either, so ends up just being a wash, and actually pretty good for the cool color team for now. Are seeing a push here in the south by Rebel Node and a Polygon. Jaden still just trolling out in the middle here with some thugs. EMP spiders trying to get past. Or no, these are termites. Sorry, not the EMP ones. Termites trying to get past. I'm unsure why they're going this way. I guess they are distracting Rebel Node, right? But yeah, this push is the annoying one. And yeah, again, if it takes something out important, that would be big. I'm unsure if it's going to. And yeah, this push is definitely stalled. Although they do have a bigger Sheldon count, but losing the air war, you can just get harassed. Although, I mean, again, there's no... Like, TKD Backkick really should have taken advantage of that. Are they even making fighters? Okay, they are making fighters, but... they should be making some bombers or some shurikens. Okay, looks like they auto-queued. So for every 2 fighters, there's 1 shuriken, which is not a lot of shurikens because they go down real quick. Honestly, kind of would have liked to see the opposite ratio, but I'm sure they know what they're doing, right? Well, actually, it is interesting. They're not very experienced to be the air player. Of course, with the number being red, it was probably higher, and then they got hit with the season reset, just haven't been playing, right? Like what happened in the last game that I casted. But yeah, it is interesting. Whereas like the air player for these guys is 30 TS, which is significantly higher. Okay. Oh yeah, in terms of commanders, yeah, 3v2, right? So it is, we lost a lot of commanders there early on, a lot of double losses, which does tend to happen, right? The commander explosion is just so devastating. If it's like a 1v1, that other commander's going down for sure. Okay. Yeah, Sheldon's out here. Anti-air bots. Finally, we're starting to see the anti-air bots come out. Only like 2 though. Again, like they hate making anti-air bots, which is fair. It is worthless metal unless fighters or bombers happen to fly over you. But like, oh, the amount of times that air power has completely devastated a game is a lot. This is also interesting. This happens multiple times. I guess they have some kind of circle widget, or maybe there's like a command that I don't know. Yeah, they make a perfect circle like all the time, which is pretty interesting. Okay, so the Jags here from Rebel Node haven't done too much really. Actually, it does look like they've been picking off some hounds because there's really no hounds left, is there? I'm assuming that's from the Jags. They're going to be trying to go for the... oh gosh, that commander's definitely going down. Yep, commander goes down. Does take out a few Jags, and honestly, these guys are pretty expensive. $330 metal for a unit that can go down just real quick, right? Even Sheldons are able to hit them real hard. Yep, oh, another one going down. Yeah, I think the Jags are trying to go to the base, but again, there's a lot of choke points here, and Rebel Node's a little bit overextended, where the C3BO can just come in from behind and hit them, which is rough. But oh gosh, really bad positioning from C3BO, just getting way too close to the Jags, where Jags are real good. But yeah, people say Sheldons are kind of overtuned, which I can definitely see, because if not for that EMP bot, they might have just won that battle, even though they're really facing their counter, right? Had bad positioning, facing a counter, lower numbers than them, still almost won, which is crazy to me. Obviously other factors at play there too, right? But Sheldons are, well, how much do they cost? Yeah, 410. I mean, they are more expensive, but not by a lot. Not significantly, I would say. Welders are also trying to get in their face, but they are slow, so Sheldons are able to just kite them for days, which makes welders not... Actually, welders are a pretty popular choice, which is really interesting to me because they just get... I feel like they're not great against anything except maybe like T1 spam. Gunslinger out here as well from, yeah, that name. And they're... Yeah, I actually noticed this when I looked at the replay. I'm still unable to determine the cause of what happened to them exactly. But yeah, they are completely destroyed. Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, yeah, again, another perfect circle. I'll try to put it in the replay if I do remember, which I tend to do, right? How they exactly lost. I really just don't know. Okay. Yeah, again, our yin shape really hasn't changed here, where it's just slanted towards the better players, which again you would expect. Although the sharpshooters down here might be starting to turn the tide. I mean, they've gotten 22 kills, which is a lot for 5 sharpshooters, right? That's over 4 kills for each of them, which is a decent amount. Now, sprinters out here from Polygon would be able to hurt these guys real bad if, you know, yeah, they were able to get close. But oh gosh, EMP there. Couple shots from the Sheldons, shots from the sharpshooters, which they're getting way too close. I don't know what the plan is here, getting that close to them. Maybe trying to follow these guys in. Yeah, 5 sprinters getting into your base. Not the end of the world, especially, yeah, shurikens are great at ending them. Or at least putting them out of commission until somebody else comes along. There you go. Convenient fiend over there. We are starting to see the tentacles form from Scarecrow, which, yeah, also, like, this meta has never... Like, I understand the point of it. So... this grunt spam, the reason you're not spamming like the I guess you don't have scouts as Cortex on bot, but the reason you wouldn't do this with ticks, even though some people do, is because it's hard countered by Junos. But these are to provide line of sight. They're to attrition down slow shooters. So like these guys against like a sharpshooter would be awesome, because sharpshooters are wasting like a really long reloaded shot on something that's worthless. But against Jags, you're just wasting metal. And like, I mean, they're cheap. 36 metal is not a lot, but you have 3 streams of these. They're just getting eaten up. There's no attacks behind these. It feels bad. A line of sight for the sharpshooters is useful because, of course, sharpshooters have a longer damage area than they do have line of sight. So this can be helpful, but I still think the metal could be put towards something else, right? But many people disagree. Obviously, like one of the best players in the lobby is doing it right, but I do think it's fallen out of favor a little bit. I haven't seen it as much anymore, and we're only seeing the ticks from just some guy, and only 2 streams. So mostly just because Junos aren't super prevalent in this match. We do see some Junos from Hey I think there's a couple others, but yeah, not a ton of Junos. In terms of big pushes, we do have these Razorbacks. 4 Razorbacks from just some guy. Yeah, these guys, they're gonna piece up shurikens. There we go. Cortex Air players get their just desserts. Yeah, these are just walking through. I mean, there's nothing to oppose them. We are seeing just trash trying to walk back. Anything really opposing them? I mean, a couple of welders isn't gonna change anything. Spybot able to EMP one of them would be nice if it can get close enough. It's so close, isn't it? Oh gosh, Razorback's just piecing up Oaf's base. That's rough. Reactor's definitely going down there. Yep, hate to see it. That's actually, this should go down first, but yeah, okay. All right, oh, this is also their last commander, by the way, which, spoiler, doesn't come into the game. Maybe I should have not said that for suspense, but yeah, it doesn't end up really mattering. Yeah, so 3 Razorbacks left. Well, actually a 4th one in the back there that's pretty damaged. One does get EMP'd down, I guess, by the shurikens. Oh no, another one lost to shurikens. No, this is Cortex Vengeance. And with the Shivas coming up here, yeah, it's probably the end of these Razorbacks, but fantastic push. I mean, 1200 metal to eliminate a high player's base. That's just a fantastic value trade right there. Just incredible. I mean, like, yeah, these are 9,700 metal plus everything else that got destroyed in the radius. Totally worth it. Yeah, fantastic. This guy just sitting back here really should, yeah, there we go, get a move on. Okay, so it's not looking too great for the warm color or the cool color team, but they do actually have they have a great economy. I think their eco player is just a little bit better than the other eco player. Which is that actually panning out in reality? Not really. They're very similar. I guess the economies are pretty similar after you lose a whole base, though. And I guess warm color team did lose. Yeah, this guy is not doing anything, but I don't know how much they were doing to begin with. They still have this gunslinger, 52 kills. Holy, that's what happens when you micro one guy. Although it does look like this can be the end of it, the end of the brave gunslinger. Although, yeah, perfect unit to have one player micro. Auto repair, self-sufficient. Probably just going to get bursted down in the end here, but oh gosh. 56 kills, 57 kills on the gunslinger's death. We do have a really forward gantry here by Scarecrow. Now, it seems kind of silly to have such an expensive factory all the way up at the front, but it's actually great because the thing with T3 units is they tend to be really slow unless you're making, like, you know, Shivas and Marauders are not too slow. But like if you're making a Juggernaut, having it be that much closer to the enemy's base is a game changer, right? Okay, another fighter battle going, this time happening over the cool color team's base. And yeah, they lose that fighter battle, obviously, because they're fighting over enemy anti-air. And so what was they don't have bombers. I must have missed the point of that. Okay, they have one gunship. They must have had some more bombers or something there. Yeah, but that was a horrendous defeat for the cool color or warm color team's air power, which might come back to bite them. We'll just have to see. We did see some bombers early on from Danny, but I don't see any anymore. And it looks like, honestly, the south side has been kind of mopped up for the warm color team. They're not looking too great now. The middle is looking decent. They do have some units pushed pretty far up. But honestly, I think just some redirected ones. Yeah, I mean, with the mammoths coming in, that's probably spells the end. Oh, gosh. Sheldon's getting hit by mammoths is rough. Now, of course, mammoths have a disgustingly large range, of course. Do they even have a larger range than Sheldons? I don't believe so. But yeah, they are quite good. I mean, Karganes are one of the worst T3 units, but yeah, I mean, they're just getting hit real hard by these guys. Again, like this may be like a 2.5 tier unit, right? They cost like a T3 amount, like a low T3, right? They actually, yeah, they cost more than Shivas, so I actually didn't know that. I didn't have that knowledge off the top of my head. Yeah, okay, so we're seeing some more Wasp gunships, some Shurikens from TKD. So the fighter push is looking more and more reasonable. The problem is, of course, it just didn't pan out for them. But, of course, you never really know with stuff like that. But yeah, if you are playing air yourself, never, never, never take a fighter battle over an enemy's base unless it's followed up immediately by, like, some bombers or something to make that worth it, right? And honestly, I'd leave some in reserve, which I think they might have left some in reserve. But yeah, they now have 2 players on air. The Cool Color team does. So they have both Danny and Oaf, which TKD is not going to be able to outproduce. Not even close. An abductor from Polygon. Does Polygon have a... No, it must have been gifted. Okay. Here we are. Polygon still has the Biolab here. Oh, Juno coming in. That takes care of construction turrets now. That might be rough. If that is the case. We'll just have to see. Yeah, and more perfect circles. No, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I don't know why they're pinging all the Junos. I guess it is good information if you're making mines or oh gosh, or scouts, which they automatically destroy. So Shiva's here for Scarecrow. Arga just going to be tearing up Orange's base, which has seen a significant amount of attrition even since the early game. That bombing raid looks like they never really recovered from it. They're still on a T1 base, which, it's just horrendous. I mean, that's not good to be on that this late in the game. 30 minutes, everyone should be tier 2. Honestly, by 20 minutes, really, right? But, okay. Yeah. Shivas, oh, nice EMP there on the Shivas. Razorbacks from just some guy, able to clean them up. And, okay, so good defense there. A little bit too late, right? Because that is Cocoa Puffs basically out of this game. The south side, they're really not doing too much. We're seeing some Marauders being made here, but yeah, Marauders are bottom of the barrel T3 unit, right? They're really fast, which is nice, and they're amphibious, but there's no water on this map, clearly. So I think it's mostly for the speed, but there's so much detection 30 minutes into the game. Especially for land maps, it's going to be so hard to sneak these guys around. Yeah, there's even Marauders from Haya, and I'm assuming that's what the intent was here, because they're not heavy hitters. They don't stay in battle long. Okay. What else? Not too much. Gantry up here is still being nice, not being threatened at all. Aphis, more Aphis. Oh. All right. Yeah, a little bit of a lull in the battle here. Mammoth's out for Weeb here. Oh gosh, getting hit by those Kargs. Yeah, I think it's mostly to stop the spam is for the Mammoths, and they also just hit hard in their own right. I don't know why they're not target firing. There we go. Yeah, scaring some of those Kargs away. Kargs are great, and again, it's so Jaden to be just playing the guerrilla war in the middle of these mountains, which is awesome. Karganests really are that unit. It is funny. I would love to see like some limited time events where you have like specific units you can use or whatever, or something along those lines. Maybe like, oh god, I know this sounds horrible, but like an objective based game mode seems kind of fun to me. I don't know, maybe that's just me being an idiot. Okay, so Wasps from TKD. Yeah, Razorbacks. Oh gosh. Grunts pouring in from Scarecrow. We are seeing the Marauders finally make a move from Rebel Node. Haya trying to catch up here. Yeah, looks like they're able to basically ward them off. The Mammoths are good enough. Then of course you have these rocket bots. Arbiters in the back just are great at hitting these T3 units. Not great at hitting Marauders specifically. They're a little too fast, but against Kargs, they'd be good. Unfortunately, they're weren't really focusing the Kargs, were they? We are seeing a lot of fighters out from just some guys as well. So 2 players on air from the warm-colored side as well. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is basically just the grunt push cleaned up whatever Cocoa Puffs had left. Hate to see it. Homeboy's just trying to stay alive. Alright, fighters coming in now. And they do have backup this time. Okay, Rebel Node has made some T1 bombers. Oh gosh, the fighters are getting eaten alive by just some guy. I mean, they're actually doing pretty well. And yeah, the SAMs down here are rough. But what would be worse is flat guns. SAMs are better for taking out bombers, and that's what's just missing them, actually. But the bombers do get hit by a lot of fighters from Danny. We did see some... Yeah. Oh, gosh. And just the T1 bombers aren't able to... I mean, they can take out some wind farms, but Avises are quite safe from them. Yeah, it was a good idea. There's even... Oh, my... There's atomic bombers back here. Okay. From just some guy that didn't go in over here, which is interesting to me. I'm unsure why they waited. Okay. Yeah, nice drops on the Shivas here. That's a good idea. Shivas do have a little bit of light anti-air, but I mean... I mean, the atomic bombers can take so many hits. They do more damage from their own bombs half the time. Oh my goodness, except when they try to sit on the ground like an idiot. Oh my goodness. That's some value right there, baby. You love to see it. You love to see it. Just fantastic. Real funny, actually. Okay, there we go. huge atomic bomber value. Hold on, let me write that down. Okay. Love to see it. Okay, so now down here, we do have some Rebel Nodes and Marauders here fighting off some Ahayas. Again, classic Marauder strategy. Walking through medium mines. Now, you'd think that really wouldn't do that much damage, but no. Mines are great at taking out Marauders. 1,100 damage on these guys. I mean, their health is like, yeah, that's like a quarter of their health, which really does start to hurt. And they're so cheap, too. I mean, mines are like, yeah, 16 bucks, as I would say. 16 metal, which is really the only important value. Energy is irrelevant past like 5 minutes in, basically. Unfortunately, really, it's unless you're going for long range plasma cannons. I would really like to see energy be more of a relevant resource, because right now it just feels like metal's all that matters. Okay, yeah, Vanguard just getting real. Yeah. They're not great anti-air either. They can't they can't aim up very well. Okay. Yeah, in terms of economy, their warm color team is just getting outpaced by cool color team by like 200 metal, which really hurts. That's like 20% of their economy. Oh gosh, we are seeing a lot of atomic bombers come in though. Are they going to be able to make it? Oh, the SAMs are really putting in work, as well as the Mercury. And I know I said that in an American way. Shut up. Oh gosh, yeah. There goes all the atomic bombers. I don't think a single bomb went off there. Which, yeah, good anti-air defense from Haya. I know I'm saying that wrong. Heiyaji. Oh, I thought it was 2 eyes for the longest time. I'm an idiot. Well, I'm sorry, mate. I've just been I'm sure I mispronounced everybody's scale more. That's easy for you to say, bro. Honestly, maybe they should gift that to poor Coco. Struggling on the T1 base for minutes now. Basically watching other people play the game. It's sometimes what happens, right? At least they didn't leave. They're good sport about it, which you love to see. Some good morale. Now we are seeing a jug coming out from Scarecrow. And how long does this guy got? 3-ish minutes? Now we're seeing a lot of grave robbers come in, which might be coming in to assist. 3 minutes is yeah, not a long time for a jug. And again, with the gantry being halfway in the map, like it could be doing some damage. Now, Jolly really doesn't have an economy. Holy cow, plus 19 metal? That is real rough, isn't it? So yeah, the jug's closest opponent is not really formidable. But something they want to keep an eye on are these wasps. Now wasps are good at hurting these big T3 jugs, mostly because, oh, they're just going in here. There's no anti-air again. Mostly because they can get the surround, and when units are surrounded, sorry, that's my dog, they take more damage when they're surrounded from all sides, which is an interesting little tidbit there. You can actually see there's indicators here. So if this mammoth is getting hit from behind like that, they're going to take like extra damage. This is like 50%. It scales based on like how many times they're getting hit and from what angle. But it is significant, especially for those higher health, you know, behemoths like the Juggernaut or the Behemoth. Oh gosh, not looking too great for poor Weeb here. Razorbacks coming in again. Just some guy has really been putting in the work this game. I mean, they've gotten multiple base kills. So far, it hasn't been enough. But that was significant. That was good, right? Gantry, this demon's never coming up. Actually, it's only 30 seconds, which is pretty wild. It is mostly built, though, I guess. Yeah, Razorbacks, oh, still wiping out stuff. Taking out construction turrets. Oh, okay, there we go. It does get by the shurikens. Like, if we can take out that reactor, that would just be insane. Yeah, it's not GG for either side yet. But, yeah, just some guy putting in the work. I like to see it. I like their plays. They're trying with the atomic bombers. They're trying with the land. Doing everything they can to try to win. Like, the front, this has been stalled forever. And I really don't think it should be. Razorback's just avoiding the Titan, which is probably smart. Titans are good at killing those poor guys. And you want to get as many hits in with your Vanguards as you can before you start to engage. 3 Razorbacks, yeah, not able to do it. They are going to be they are going to be backing off here. The Jug has finished. There we go. Experimental Assault Bot walking in. I didn't know Jugs made energy. Interesting. Like, I'm like 300 energy. I don't know how much that matters, but it is funny. Okay. Yeah, just various units here from Jaden. They made a classic blunder of leaving the mountainside, and now their Shivas just got paralyzed and wrecked by some mammoths. You hate to see it. Not our boy Jaden. Or girl Jaden. Either one. Oh, poor catapult there. Oh, there's some ticks from Coco. Let's go. Oh, there 3 T1 labs. Are they just going to be spamming ticks? Funny. Game impact, baby. You love to see it. Okay, some more atomic bombers. Another try from the warm color team on the atomic bomber front. This time from Rebel Node. A little bit farther north than they had been. Oh, they get intercepted by a lot of fighters. A lot of ground anti-air. And those bombers are nowhere close to doing anything. Rough, rough. Even that, they could have even just gotten a hit here, right? Would have been better than just dying for nothing, but yeah, again, beyond a reason, players also will never drop their bombs early. It just never happens. Okay, yeah, Jug just goes down from the D-gun. Which, wow, really, like, the worst way to lose a T3 unit is a D-gun. If you just surround your T3 unit with some trash, that doesn't happen, but they didn't, and so they go down, even though they had lots of trash. Oh, man. You hate to see it. Sometimes you just don't think about those things, right? You're like, this is the world ender, and then it gets ended just by some guy. Literally, just some guy. Juno coming in. Is this a macro? This must be a macro. It's kind of... yeah. Or not a macro, but like a widget. That seems wrong. I guess... yeah, I don't know really how I feel about that. Because obviously they're not saying this each... yeah, this is just a bot doing this, which... I don't know how I feel about that. Like, obviously, it's only saying it because they have vision of it, right? But it still feels wrong. Okay. Yeah, now the grunts are out in full force. A little bit too late, huh? Should have done that before the Jug went out. Yeah, they're not even gonna try for not even gonna try for another Jug. I would like to see him make demons. I feel like demons would be quite well do quite well over here. Just a fast unit, got some light anti-air. And they do good AoE and single target. I think people think demons just don't do good single target, but they're actually incredible at it for their cost. Which I don't really think they should be. I think they should be nerfed a little bit, but again, I'm not on the balance team. Thank God. You guys are lucky that I'm not on a balance team. This game would be a mess if my decisions were implemented at any point in time. Oh my goodness. All right. There we go. Like, that's cool. Let's see where it can attack. It's also a little buggy right now, it seems. Karg's trying to make a pass through. Dragon's going to be coming up and cleaning them up as well. Again, Dragons, another unit after the buff. They've been quite good at single target damage. Like, okay, quite good maybe was an overstatement. But, like, yeah, they're melting these guys. May take a little time, but it's not bad. Oh, Atomic Bomber there getting eaten alive by the Karganess, a little light anti-air, which is always rough. Another Atomic Bomber here from Rebel Node. Oh, where? No bomb on the Titan? Come on. It's probably a little accident. No, it gets hit by the fighters. Oh, baby boy lost too soon. It is interesting. Bombers don't explode more when they hit the ground. I think that would probably just be a little busted, though. You could just kamikaze bombers in and always get damage. So, yeah, game reasons, I can see why it doesn't happen. Oh gosh, rip the dragon. Puff the magic dragon, eaten alive by T2 fighters. This was for, oh god. Yep. Another fighter battle over enemy airspace. And why, do you ask, is this happening? Oh, the dragon's coming in. Gotta make way for the dragons, and the fighters actually just, yeah, survive. I guess there's not a lot of ground anti-air left. Nope, there certainly is not. Oh god, you got some nettles, which are going to be able to do nothing against dragons. Honestly, most ground anti-air, except for the long-range missiles, just don't hurt dragons at all. They're fantastic units, really. Really good for base wipes, and they're the world beaters. It is kind of Jover for the warm color team, I think, at this point. They're down in economy. They're almost getting their economy doubled by the cool color team. Dragons in their base. They're not winning on any front. Well, we still have our mountain holdout guy, Jayden here, killing it. But yeah, the dragons are ripping through just some guy's base, who was really the MLG for this game. I mean, not Rebel Node and Polygon, of course, did great. But they had a lot of good plays this game. They did good damage. But it just wasn't enough. So we are seeing the comeback from the cool color team. I wouldn't say a comeback per se. It was a pretty balanced game. Definitely a tug of war. But yeah, it was a battle. It was a war in a fantastic game. Yeah, and we do see the GG go down. GG. Hope you guys did enjoy. Y'all know reason. Yeah, I mean, if you made it this far, of course, like and subscribe. Helps a lot. Yeah, helps keep me afloat. Helps keep interest in the game afloat. And all the good things come from that. Yeah, awesome. So we're just, metal used is probably one of the best indicators of your economy, right? And just some guy really, even if they didn't get that dragon stuff at the end, where they lost the tactical battle, on the strategic level it was over at some point anyways. Yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. I'll see you all later. Have a great day. Adios.